Hello and welcome to our special coverage of the Football World Cup. I'm your host, Rausan Pereira, and with me is the former captain of the Indian football team, Carlton Chapman. Welcome, Carlton, and it's nice to have you here in our Rajya Sabha TV studios.
Thanks for inviting me here.
All right, and together we will get you the analysis of all the matches of the World Cup. FIFA 2018, the world's biggest sporting event, kicks off this evening with host Russia taking on Saudi Arabia in the opening clash. The 21st edition of the Apex Summit of Football will feature 32 teams from 5 confederates and 64 high-octane matches to be played in 12 venues across 11 Russian cities.
The summers could not have been hotter this year in Russia. The heat will be felt not just across Leningrad but even beyond the width and margins of the 6 continents. The biggest sporting event is back after 4 years. Billed as one of the most expensive football championships in the history, top 32 teams of the world will be crossing each other's path to lay hands on the coveted FIFA Gold Trophy and a whopping $38 million prize booty. Hosting soccer's biggest tournament, 12 stadiums have been built and renovated in 11 Russian cities. Divided in 8 groups, the 2 top teams will advance to the knockout round of 16. In case of a tied ranks between 2 teams at the group stage, the tiebreakers will be determined by either a goal difference or a fair play point, which will take into account the number of cards slapped on the players of a given team. Each yellow card will create a deficit of 1 point. A second yellow on the player will create a deficit of 3 points, and a red card will consume 4 points in case of the assessment for breaking a tie. Like each edition of the mega event, this time too, all eyes will be on the notorious Group of Death. 2-time Cup winner Argentina, 1996 Olympic winner and team which never fails to surprise Nigeria, 1998 third place holders Croatia, and a talented Iceland is locked in Group D. In Group F, 4 times World Cup winner Germany will be locking with the flair of Mexicans, finesse of Sweden and surprise of South Korea. The Ironmanschaft will be looking to become the first team to win back-to-back World Cup titles since Brazil in 1962. A win by Joachim Löw's boys will also take them level with Brazil winning 5 World Cups each. Eyes will also be on Group B, which features Iberian rivals Portugal and Spain beside Morocco and Iran. Placed in Group E, Brazil will be looking to come back strongly after 1-7 drubbing on home soil by Germans in the last World Cup outing 4 years ago, which was semi-final of 2014 World Cup.
Brazil in real trouble. They're in dire trouble now. Oh, right across the face of goal. Candreva.
The high-octane summit tournament though will be missing Italy, a powerhouse with 4 titles in the past, who ironically failed to cross past the qualifiers, pulling curtains on the illustrious reign of Azzurri's legendary keeper Gianluigi Buffon. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So there you have it, of course. These are the 32 teams that will be participating in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And what a mouth-watering tournament it's going to be. High-octane football over the next 1 month. We here are extremely excited about what's likely to happen in the World Cup. We'll bring you match-by-match analysis as well. Carlton, exciting times ahead for us.
Yeah, wonderful. It's wonderful. The World Cup is the largest sport in the world.
Indeed, it is the largest sport in the world, and, and we are looking forward to some great matches, aren't we?
Yeah, we are looking forward of seeing some fantastic football.
So let's talk about some of the groups and, look at how many teams there are. There are about 32 teams in all participating in this particular World Cup. We'll take a look at all those 32 teams. But first, let's take a look at Group A. These are the teams, of course, participating in the World Cup. There you have them. 8 groups in all, 4 teams in each group, 32 teams in all, and 16 teams will progress to the next round, 2 each from each group. Let's look at Group A first, where the hosts, Russia, are in that particular group. There's Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay as well. An interesting group. Carlton, who do you expect to go through to the next round from this particular group?
It's a tough group. It's a very, very tough group because Russia is the host team. they take on Saudi Arabia in the first match, and they got Egypt and Uruguay. Egypt and Uruguay are one of the top teams in the world, you can say. And Russia will have, if they don't play towards the highest level, I don't think they'll make it.
Sure. So it's an interesting group for Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt and Uruguay. Let's not forget Uruguay has been a powerhouse as far as football is concerned. They've done very well in the past as well. Saudi Arabia has done extremely well in Asia. You have Egypt. Egypt had a scare because Mo Salah was injured in the finals of the Champions League, but he's fit now. How much of a factor do you think Mo Salah is going to be for Egypt?
He's one of the best players, you can say. He has proved himself a number of times. And without him in the finals, Liverpool was nothing. So when Salah is in the team, you can say the entire team force gets together. So
Right.
he is a key player in this team.
Sure. Let's look at the other group now, which is Group B. You have Portugal, Spain, Morocco and Iran. Two tough teams in this particular group, and then you have one African team and one Asian team. This group looks relatively easy for Portugal and Spain, but someone may spring a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you see in the last World Cup, Iceland bet Spain in the first match. So if they take it easy and if they don't work towards the target, it will be difficult for them.
For Spain, and let's not forget Spain has got a replacement of coach as well. How much of a factor do you think that is going to be?
It's a huge factor because coach changing in the last minute. It's very difficult for the players to adapt to a new coach. So I hope they do well and progress in the second round.
Would you say that they are one of your favorites as far as the tournament is concerned?
You can say they are the favorites. Portugal and Spain is the other favorites. They got all chances of winning this World Cup because they have experienced players, they have young players, they have a mixture of the entire team. Because Portugal, almost all the players play in Spain.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult for them to come across them.
Right.
So everybody's got a chance there. Spain and Portugal has got a major chance.
Let's look at the next group now. France, Australia, Peru and Denmark. France, of course, has got a rejuvenated side this time around, a new coach as well. So France looking good in that particular group. But the other teams too seem to be pretty strong. There's Denmark and there's Peru as well, another South American team there.
Yeah, the Latin American teams are awesome. They play very good football. And beating them, it's very difficult. France and Peru got 100% chances of qualification.
So France and Peru are Carlton's picks as far as Group C is concerned. Moving on to the next group now, Group D, a group in which Lionel Messi and Argentina will be there. There's Iceland, there's Croatia and Nigeria as well. As Carlton was saying earlier in the program, Iceland sprang a surprise in the 2014 World Cup, beating Spain. Another tough group, Carlton.
Yeah, this is a tough group because everybody played each other in the qualifications. So it is a really tough group. If you can't put anybody down.
Right.
If you give anybody a chance, they will knock you out.
So who do you think will go through in this tough group? I mean, would this be your group of death?
Yeah, it could be. Because Argentina and Iceland, they are the favorites in this group.
And anyone can spring a surprise.
Yeah, anybody can bring us a surprise.
All right. Looking at the next group now, we have Group E, of course. There's Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica and Serbia. There are two Latin American sides here and two European sides as well. So this too could be a tough group. Group E, how do you look at Group E, Carlton?
This group also is a very tough group because Brazil, they have a good chance of winning this World Cup. If they do well in these matches, they will definitely go to the next round. And Iceland and Croatia. Croatia is another good side.
Costa Rica, sorry. Brazil, Costa Rica. Yeah.
Costa Rica is another good side because we don't see much of their football. Like we watch EPL, we watch Spanish League. We don't see much of their football.
So they can bring a surprise.
Bring a surprise to us.
Right. You know, Brazil will have a point to prove this time around because they lost badly to Germany in the last World Cup, losing 7-1 in the semi-final. So, do you think that Brazil will have a point to prove this time around?
Yeah, this time they have to prove around because losing 7-1 is a very big margin. And this year they will come all out to win this tournament.
Do you think that all eyes will be on Neymar this time around?
Definitely. Neymar is one of the favorite players for the youngsters. You can see on the roads, you can see many people wearing his jerseys and walking about.
Right. Let's look at the next group now. We have Group F, Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and the Korean Republic, of course, Germany, world champions. Another, would you say that they are your favorites this time around as well?
Yeah, you can say that because they got a very good team this time. And they will definitely want to win this World Cup back to back.
Right.
If they win it, it's like they are making a record.
Right.
And they have the players, they have the quality, they have the coach, they have everybody. Everybody is in place. And if you see their German football, it's in a very high standard. And if you see, they came to Champions League semi-finals. And most of the players are playing in Champions League.
Right.
So they have all the talent to come across this tournament.
So who would you pick to go through to the next round from this group?
I will pick Mexico and Germany.
Mexico has, over the years, the Mexican team has improved a lot and they've always sprung up a surprise in the World Cup. So yeah, I think those will be the two tough teams. That Sweden also has done well.
Sweden has did very well.
So it could be another interesting group to watch.
It will be between Mexico and Sweden.
Sure. And let's look at the next group now, which is Group G, Belgium, Panama, Tunisia and England. And the rivalry between England and Belgium will be on the fore yet again. Carlton, Group G.
Group G, England should qualify. And Belgium also, they have a very good side, Belgium.
But traditionally, if you look at how England has played in the World Cup, they've always had the team, but under pressure, they've not performed. So that is the problem and that is the criticism as far as England is concerned. So not big match players really.
Yeah, you can say that in big international tournaments, they flop. But this time they might shock the crowd. They might give a surprise to the world.
So how, I mean, you've played several international tournaments, you've captained the Indian team. How difficult is it to play in a situation and a stage like the World Cup?
It is very difficult. It's very easy to get selected in the team. But to go out there and prove yourself, win the match, win matches from first minute to the 90th minute, everything is in the mind. It's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on all the players because they have to prove to the world that they are the best players. If they don't prove now, they can never prove themselves, right? So England this time will, I think they will give a good...
After all the years of pressure, it's time for England to perform, is what Carlton is saying. Let's look at the next group now, Group H. Poland, Senegal, Colombia and Japan. All evenly placed teams, would you say, in Group H?
No, Colombia is a very good side.
Right.
Colombia is a very, very good side and they have a very strong culture of football. If you see in the Latin American tournaments which they play, they sometimes beat Brazil, they sometimes beat Argentina. So you can't take them lightly. And Senegal is a sleeping giant. They come out, they give the best, they go back. But if you allow them, they also are a threat to the...
So would you say on the whole that your picks to progress to the next round would be the Latin American teams?
Yeah, you can say that. Because most of the Latin American players play in Spain, in one of the biggest clubs. You can say they are playing in England. If you see the Latin American players around the world, I think it's a very strong football playing continent.
Yeah. Yeah. The culture, football culture is extremely strong in those particular countries. Who would you say is your dark horse for this tournament? Would it be one of the European teams? Would it be one of the Asian teams?
Yeah.
Which Asian team do you think will perform the best?
I feel Japan will perform the best.
So Japan could possibly have a chance in this particular group to qualify to the next round. Okay, there you have it. Of course, going through all the groups as far as the group of 32 is concerned, 2 teams from each group will qualify to the next round, and we will have 16 teams going into the next round. Moving on now. Team loyalty apart, fans will also be closely watching out for several key players from the 32 teams. While we cannot decide which are the best ones, here are our top 10 picks.
It will be the first World Cup in Europe since the 2006 tournament in Germany. The Russian edition will see some of the biggest names in football who can turn the game around and have the capability to lift the World Cup. Some of the key players are Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Toni Kroos, Isco, Luis Suarez, Gabriel Jesus, Killian Mubape, Timo Werner and Mohamed Salla. Argentina's football sensation Lionel Messi has been scoring goals for his side for over a decade now and has scored 64 goals in 124 international appearances. He is also the top scorer for Argentina and has been World Player of the Year 5 times. Although he has proved his mettle time and again for Barcelona, still a major achievement with Argentina is missing. Another big name in this year's World Cup is Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most dominant figures in football who has won all possible cups at club level. In 2016, he guided his nation to the first major title in its history to claim the Euro Cup. He also has the most international goals at 81 among currently active players from 150 appearances. Ronaldo has scored 5 international hat-tricks and 4 international goals in a single match. Brazil's Neymar and Gabriel Jesus are the 2 key players in the side who can turn the game at any moment. While Neymar is the 3rd all-time top scorer for the Brazilian team with 55 goals in 85 appearances, Jesus has scored 10 goals in 17 appearances. Timo Werner and Toni Kroos are 2 German players who will play a key role for their side. Werner has scored 8 goals in 14 appearances and is one of the youngest talents in the German side, while Kroos was part of the World Cup winning side in 2014 and became the first footballer born in East Germany to win the competition. He has scored 12 goals in 83 international appearances. Spain's Isco, who is often described as one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, has been spectacular to watch not just for Real Madrid but also with the national team with 10 goals in 26 appearances. Uruguay's Luis Suarez took his team to the semi-finals of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa and in 2011 helped his side claim the Copa America title on Argentinian soil. With 51 goals in 98 appearances, he is one of the players who has the capability to lift the World Cup. Killian Mubape of France is a match-turner who conquered the hearts of all the lovers of French football. He was the world's 2nd most expensive player in football history after Paris Saint-Germain acquired him for 180 million euros. He has scored 4 goals in 15 international appearances. Another big name in the list is Mohamed Salla of Egypt. Forward for Liverpool and the Egyptian national teams, Salla scored 33 goals for the national side in 57 appearances. He was awarded the CAF Most Promising African Talent of the Year in 2012 and helped Egypt reach the final of the 2017 African Cup of Nations. He became the top scorer during Confederation of African Football qualification to help the team qualify for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. For his performances, Salla was also named CAF African Footballer of the Year and the BBC African Footballer of the Year. All big names competing for the title. It will be an interesting World Cup this year. Kumar Abhishek's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it is indeed going to make for a very interesting World Cup this time around. Some key players there, some key contests as well that we will get to witness during the course of the World Cup. It remains to be seen whether some of these players will indeed come head-to-head or not, but we'll see an early clash of titans really between Portugal and Spain in the match that is to take place tomorrow, which is Friday. Meanwhile, talking about matches, let's talk about the match that is going to take place today when the Russians launched their bid to host the World Cup for the first time. They were on a high after reaching the semi-finals at the 2008 European Championship. Times have changed. Russia go into the draw as the lowest ranked of the 32 teams. Saudi Arabia is only 3 places better. But the match will be a closely watched one as the two teams try and make their mark in the first match of the tournament.
As hosts, the Russians had automatic entry into the 2018 World Cup. But since launching their bid in 2008 to hosting the sporting spectacle now, Russia has gone down to being the lowest ranked among the 32 teams in contention. The team has failed to advance past the group stage of any tournament since 2008. However, they can take some solace from the fact that their hopes of making it into the second round could be fulfilled after being drawn into a group that also contains Egypt and Uruguay.
Тренинг в команде рабочие, нормальные. Мы определенную работу провели в Австрии. Выходим на определенный уровень, который мы для себя планируем. На трёвках это уже видно. Последняя игра с Турцией уже проблески игры были. Ту, которую мы хотим, последние трёвки показали, что в этом плане мы еще на порядок стали свежее. И совершенно другое качество трёвки у нас.
There are off-field problems too, with reports of disputes between players and the coach. But for now, the players want to just focus on making their country proud.
Буду короток. Я думаю, что мы внутри команды в первую очередь хотим, чтобы народ гордился своей командой, и мы очень хотим этого добиться.
For Saudi Arabia, it is their first time appearing in the World Cup finals since 2006. Their Argentinian coach Juan Antonio Pizzi took over as head coach only in November 2017. The opening game against Russia is vital for Pizzi and his team as they seek to set a positive tone for the rest of their campaign.
Con respecto a la ambición, nosotros tenemos la máxima ambición. Hoy la máxima ambición nuestra es ganarle a Rusia y vamos a pelear para que así sea el día de mañana. A partir de ahí, cada uno de los objetivos que tengamos o que se nos presenten van a ser exactamente los mismos, con la máxima ambición que es la de competir para ganar.
طبعا كرة القدم ما فيها شيء مستحيل، يعني كل شيء فيها صعب وتحتاج انك تبذل كل ما عندك. لو ترجع لكل بطولة في كأس عالم تلقى في منتخب حصان أسود وتلقى في منتخب يكون خارج التوقعات وتلقاه يوصل لأدوار النهائية. تركيزنا مثل ما قال السيد بيتزي انه على اول مباراة هي اعتقد مفتاح لهذه البطولة لانها اصعب مباراة واهم مباراة خاصة انك تلعب ضد البلد المستضيف. اكيد لنا طموحات مثلنا مثل اي منتخب ان نقدم استعدادات ايجابية وان نتأهل للادوار النهائية وكل شيء يحدث في كرة القدم.
Russia is currently ranked 70th in the FIFA rankings, while the Saudis are ranked 67. It's true that nobody would have handpicked the tournament's 2 worst teams to launch the 2018 World Cup, but what is also true is that when the match between Russia and Saudi Arabia kicks off, form will be irrelevant as the world's biggest sporting festival explodes into life. Kumar Abhishek's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
So that is the first match of this time's World Cup, Russia versus Saudi Arabia. Carlton, how important is the opening match of any tournament for the teams concerned, both Russia and Saudi Arabia?
It is very important. The first match is if you win the first match, that means you're almost through. And Russia has a lot of pressure because they are playing at home. So they will try to go all out to get this match. If they get this match, I think they will also try to get past Uruguay.
Sure.
And if they get past Uruguay, they are through.
Right.
So Russia for this first match is very, very important for both the teams. If Russia doesn't play properly against Saudi, Saudi might beat them. So it's very important. This first match is very, very important. They should get 3 points or get 1 point. They should not lose. They should not lose 3 points.
Right.
You get 3 points or get 1 point.
And
that's most important.
Who do you think is going to win this particular match? Do you think that Russia is going to be buoyed by the home support, or do you think they're going to crumble under the pressure of playing in front of their own crowd?
Yeah, definitely pressure is there. But they are playing at home. Nothing to worry. It's World Cup. It's not a small tournament.
Whom do you choose? Who do you think will win today's match?
I think Russia will win.
2-1?
Yeah.
Okay, 2-1 is your scoreline. Do you think we could have had a better opening match?
Yeah, definitely better. We could have had a better opening match, because these Russia and Saudis ranked almost last from all the teams.
Right.
So if we had to have another thriller, all we need is a thriller. It's World Cup. A thrilling match will bring more crowd together.
Yeah.
But if the match becomes bored, then it will be difficult.
Sure. All right, Carlton, we'll have to leave to that for today. Thank you for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective as far as the World Cup is concerned. We'll have you through the course of the World Cup, of course, to discuss all the matches and the analysis as well.
Thank you so much.
All right. The world's biggest sporting extravaganza is here, and we couldn't be more excited. FIFA Mania is gripping the world, and just like the World Cup anthem, fans are ready to live it up. We will leave you with these images. Enjoy the World Cup and watch out for our coverage.
One life, live it up, cause you don't get it twice.